actually make it Monday. What are we making today? That is a very good question. I had a brilliant idea to make a tricky for you to see how I make it, but we're going to, because sewable PU is a brilliant, brilliant medium. I love it very, very much. And this is today's bag, by the way. It has 4 pockets. Pocket down each side there, and then when you open it up, you've got pockets on the inside as well, so and a zip top too. I've got all sorts of things to show and share today, but that is today's make. Now you can make this with making your own binding, and it's all straight binding as well. So it's super, super, super easy. None of this bias stuff. No. All straight binding. You can use, if you've got some of your crochet edge binding, you can that. If you've got ready-made binding, you can use that. If you've got binding left over from a quilt, you can use that. You can mix and match it as much as you like. It's entirely up to you how you want to do. Gemma's like, sewable plastic, not PU. It's technically our glass clear sewable PVC. I always just call it sewable plastic, or apparently sewable plastic. Sewable plastic. I didn't know this was a thing until I worked on Sewing Quarter many moons ago. I was like, how is this? What is this? It has to be proper sewable stuff. Has to be that, else you're going to be in a whole world of hurt. So grab yourself some of our sewable plastic, or I've got some kits for you today. Or you can use up your scraps. You can buy just a ½ metre if you want of your sewable PU. It's entirely up to you. You're going to need zips. You're going to need 2 metres of webbing for your handles. And then the rest is just PU, zip and binding. So, Blodwin says, good morning Natasha from a beautiful sunny Devon. Today's make looks interesting. So, if you are one of my Natasha teeth back in, the Natasha McCarthy Designs members, we are working with sewable PU on Monday. That is part of it. We're going to do a hanging storage with a on a coat hanger and everything else that can hang on the back of the door, and you've got see-through pockets, and it's a really lovely make, and that is what we are doing on Monday on our Zoom. So if you want to join in on that and you're not a member, go to the members area on natashamakes.com and sign yourself up to become a member. You can cancel anytime, or you can stay. And that basically pays for your Zoom workshop every month, and there are various other patterns and bits and bobs and tips and tricks and all sorts of things in that members area. But that's what we're doing. So I thought, right, okay, let's ease ourselves into a little bit of sewable plastic here, which is just, it's a very versatile make. We've had a find everything bag we did before when Jane kept losing everything. So Gemma wouldn't let us call it the quite blind bag, because that's what we say here when we can't find anything. We go, I'm being quite blind. I know I'm being quite blind, but she wouldn't let me call it that. I just love the fact we've got lots and lots of pockets. So let me show you the deal. Oh, the deal is in here. I have gone ahead and cut a little bit of the bits today, just because watching me cut something that is see-through, I said to Josh, I've made something that you can't see. He goes, so you've got nothing to show for it today. How rude. But here it is. Let's say hello to everyone first. So good morning to you if you are here, and then I'll show you what we've got, because we've got some more slightly mad bundles for you. I know. So what have we got? Who have we got? We've got Nikki here, Hazel's here, good morning, and Anne, good morning. Sharon's here as well, and Jane, good morning, and Pam, hello, and Joy as well. So for all of you that are already joining, there's more joining as we speak. Julia's here as well. It's very much first come, first serve this morning on the bundles. Now, you know that we did a super crazy deal, really super crazy deal, on fat quarters. Well, we also had boxes of long quarters as well. So whenever we get to the end of a bolt, if there is, you know, if it's less than 1/2 metre, then we cut a long quarter, we put that in the long quarters box, and then the rest goes into scrap. So we've got a lot of long, well, I say we've got a lot of long quarters, not as many as I thought we had. Not quite as many as I thought we had. But let me show you what we do have for you today. We have got I keep moving this, I put it in here. Now all of these will vary. I'll take the zips out, show you the zips in a minute. But because you can make your own binding, and we know that making binding out of long quarters is the easiest way to go, then here we go. This is an example of one. Okay, so you've got 2 meters of webbing for your handle. That's in there. You've got 1/2 meter of sewable plastic. That's in there too. And then you've got 4 long quarters, 4 designer long quarters. And then you've got 4. Now these will all be random, but I will tell you one thing. Each bundle will have at least 1 Kaffe Fassett long quarter. We didn't, when we did the other bundles, when we did the fat quarter bundles, we didn't guarantee any designers would be in there. I mean, most of you had at least Liberty in there, if not some Tilda or some Cave, or, you know, it was, or some Art Gallery fabrics. Like, they were mega bundles. And please bear with us, we are still cutting and getting those out the door. So if you haven't had yours yet, it probably meant that there was other things in your order that we've had to just gather and do. We had such an epic response to that deal. So with these ones, you are getting 1/2 meter of sewable PU, that's £6.95, and then webbing was £3 something. So already we're over £10 in this value, and then you've got 8 long quarters. These work out at less than £1 a long quarter. But I'm limited on these. So if you would like one of these, please do pop it in your basket and check it out, because when they're gone, they are gone. The webbing might vary. Okay. So what else do we need for today's make? Now, zips. We're going to need 1/2 meter of zip. And here we have some. So if you're just going to use up your plains, then this lovely rainbow stripe is fab. Maybe I'll do these on a little close up and you can see. Can you see? I love that one. So you'd get that detail. Maybe you're just going to do it in monochrome, in which case that is fab. I've got rainbow zips. By the way, these are metre long pieces, so these would make 2. I've got a zebra rainbow stripe. I've got a white rainbow zip. And then I've got, oh, this one's fun. Now these two are slightly different these are perfect for this project. Absolutely perfect for this project. Let me show you why. These are upside down zips. So the zip teeth are on the underside, but you've got the prettiness on the top. So that's absolutely perfect for today's make, because you will just see, you can have that just sitting on the top, but you'll see it, you know, when the zip, when this is down, you'll see it, and when it's up and zipped up. Oh, I've just flipped that through the wrong way, haven't I? There we go. So you get to see your zip there. So this is absolutely perfect to have a feature with. This has got rainbow dragon scales. I mean, does it get any better? Now these come with specific zip pulls, so keep them with them, because the zip pulls effectively have to be upside down so that the teeth are accommodated at the bottom of the zip pull. So you do have special zip pulls that go with those, and away we go. Now, if you are going to do this project as out of your scraps, which you absolutely can, then can I recommend that if you don't have our mega zip bundle, which is the cheapest way to get zips ever, we have maybe one, possibly two left of the 90 meters of zips in all the rainbow colours, and it was perfect because I had some pink binding and whatnot. And then here is, well, it's got all your different colours in there. So there's over 90 meters of zip in here, 20 different colours. So you've got your more muted ones, you've got your neutral ones, but you've got all your zazzy colours. Let's get these out. I think I've got 2 of these.
And you were all right, and then when you got the zips out, you started to buffer. Yeah, they're on the shelf. I wasn't sure if they were yours.
No, they are for sale.
Yeah.
Let me have a little look if I can.
You're back now.
Oh, am I back?
You were, now you buffered again.
Oh no.
You were back then for a moment. For a second.
Let's have a little look. I'm ever so sorry, everybody.
You're here now, I think. Yeah.
Are we back?
I think you're back.
Are we back? Sorry, I don't know what happened. We have had nothing but internet problems this weekend. It's just been a weekend of it. So I'm ever so sorry. If you've seen the zips, then great. We have, like I say, we've got 90 meter bundles of zip. Whilst we've got everything working, let's crack on then and make this. The other thing, and Gemma, I don't know if I told you this. Oh yes, we've got the Lucky Dip zip pulls. The Lucky Dip zip bags, rather. That's what I was starting to tell you about. The Lucky Dip zip bags are back, where you get all sorts, a proper smorgasbord of zips in there. And so that's perfect for this kind of project. Now, I've got some tips for working with the sewable plastic. And it does involve, what have I done with it? Quilters wash away tape. This is going to be your friend. It's just going to be your friend. I would put this on your desk when you are cutting to hold it in place so it doesn't squidge around. That's absolutely what I would do. YouTubers are here. Good morning, YouTubers. I'm so sorry for the technical stuff. I don't know what is going on at the moment. Auntie Liz is here. She says good morning. Diane's here. Morning, everyone. Hydrated and cool today. It's going to be hot. It's going to be a hot one. Valerie's here. Brenda's here. Cynthia's here. Occasionally, at certain events, you have to use a clear handbag. Example, at my grandson's graduation from the University of Cincinnati, we had to. I didn't have one. Oh, I did not know. Sylvia, you still in Portugal? Only 41 degrees where she is today. My goodness me. Right. Sewable PU. Plastic. Got it in my head. And I can't, when you've got it in your head and you just can't say the right thing. Can't say the right thing now. I've gone ahead and I've cut a few little bits. But there is the gusset still to cut. And what I would really recommend you do is use your mat. Use your cutting mat to your very best advantage. And what I would also say to you is use your quilter's wash away tape, because it's just going to hold it in place, which is brilliant. It's exactly what you need. So when we're going to cut this, I'm going to pop a little run of tape on my mat, which peels off. Okay. And I'm going to line up. Can you start to use my mat to line everything up? So that's going to be in place, and then it just makes it so much easier to cut your PU. You are going to need a roll of quilter's wash away tape for this make. It just makes life easy, like really, really, really easy. Your cutting instructions are all in your thingamadiggity-diggity. That's very clear, isn't it? As mud, they say, as mud. Now I'm using offcut scraps of sewable, because I've got quite, I use it quite a lot for things actually. But keep all your little bits, because when we do things, you know, with the cork, when we did, what did we do? We did like the ID badges. Then they were really, really, really useful. So I need this to be 6 inches wide. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going in here. And just having that held with your quilter's wash away tape is brilliant. So pick a word, any word, pattern or instruction. So it's the same thing, isn't it? I am so tired. If I don't make any sense today, I'm very, 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 very sorry. But yeah, it's been hectic here the last little while, and today I just woke up feeling it. So yeah, if I'm not making a lot of sense, luggage tag and pass holder. Yeah, your leftover plastic is absolutely perfect for those. I'm just going to find you one and show you what I mean. I put the luggage tags on my big old cork. You can make today's make out of cork, by the way, as well. But yeah, if you wanted to put sewable plastic in there, then you absolutely could. I didn't on that one, but you can. These are also, I mean, I've put this on this bag so I know whose it is, but these are also great for teacher gifts, because they can put their pass there and then their little door zappy thing there. They're brilliant. Really, really, really good. Okay. So that is my top tip for... Do I need that now? I don't know if I need that. I was going to start chopping bits up, but I don't know that I need to. Binding. If you want to make your own, I'm going to use pre-made today. I am. But if you would like to make your own, then you can do so from a 2-inch strip of fabric. I found this in my scrap. So I'll show you how you can do this. Yes, Gemma, Jane was going to bring it in, but I do have swapping all over the place today. I have 2 of each of the Odile panels, that velvet panels that I bought. I haven't plugged my iron in. I bought extra ones just to show everybody. So anybody that missed out, I've got some. So fold it in half, then fold into the middle. You will press that and then fold that over and press. Okay, so fold in half. You can finger press these. I think this is actually one of Jane's bias strips. And then fold into the middle. You can give that a press with your iron. I haven't turned mine on this morning. And then fold in half again. And that will give you your binding. But if you've got some left over, maybe whenever I do quilts or anything like that, if I've got any left over, then that's where it comes in really handy. Now, you have got 4 pockets on your bag, okay? And here are my pocket pieces. I don't know how much of this you're actually going to be able to see. I am going to put binding top and bottom. So this is, you could mishmash this, and you're going to have to bear with me so that I'm going to have to angle this every now and then just so the light catches it so that I can see it. Right, why are we using tape? We are using the tape because otherwise it's quite tricky sometimes to see the edge of your plastic. Now, 2 of these we're going to sew top and bottom, okay? And then 1, and then 2 we are just going to have binding along the top because it will get sewn into the bag. So just prepping this with the tape. Like I say, the tape here is going to be your friend on this bag. Do not be afraid to use it. So we'll prep all the little bits and then we can start to assemble. There we go. So this is my binding. Often if you buy pre-made binding, it's not had that final fold. And that's absolutely fine because all I'm going to do is peel that tape off and I'm going to put it in line just underneath that centre line there. Trim it. And then that will fold over and we'll sew across that top. So we will we'll batch sew these. So lay your binding out straight up to that line. And the same here. Now we're going to do top and bottom here. You don't have to. Let's actually stick that on the right way, doesn't it? But I just like the look of it down the bottom of the pocket on the inside. Let me explain. Can you see here? This is the bottom of your pocket. That isn't sewn onto the bottom. So that's more just of like a, rather than it being a sewn in pocket at the bottom, that's for your phone or anything like that. So that's just going to slide in there. If you want a pocket that's got a sewn in base, then these outside ones are there. But this is more just to hold drinks bottles or phones, anything that you need kind of to be able to get hold of. And the way that it's designed means that you can, without having to unzip the whole thing, you can get in there. So it has, if it has got your phone, then you can just pop in and get it. No problem at all. But just having that tape on there just gives you, means that you can see the edge more clearly. It's quite a nice guide, and of course you're then going to fold that binding over so you won't actually see it. And all is good, all is well. I don't know if we buffered. Jane, could I possibly have those velvet panels to show everybody? So, did ask, I don't know if she's heard. And Gemma, we have got 2 of each of the velvet panels that I got from ODL. I overbought by just 2, just in case there was anybody that properly missed it. There's always someone afterwards.
I've been doing some cat rescue off the Malcolm stuck on the conservatory roof.
Malcolm stuck on the roof.
I've got him down now. It's okay. It's difficult to get a cat down. It doesn't like being picked up.
Oh, he hates being picked up. Yeah, no, you can't get anywhere near Malcolm. That just makes me laugh. So Malcolm is he's my cat. He occasion you might see him. We call him the lesser spotted Malcolm, because you really don't see him. Like, he's so shy, and it's taken Jane years to get to be anywhere near him at all. And so yeah, he was just stuck on the roof, obviously not wanting to come down. I did wonder why he wasn't in for breakfast this morning. His brother, complete opposite, absolute complete opposite. But yeah, Malcolm is, bless him, he's the one that got bitten on the nose by a mouse when he was trying to catch a mouse. He has other gifts, like looking handsome everywhere. That's his superpower. It's not really being a cat. That's not his superpower at all. These are the panels, and they are absolutely gorgeous. So it's a little aside, but I do have 2 each of these panels. So Odil's velvets are not cheap, but my goodness, they are absolutely worth it. So you've got the India bust there, you've got your caravan, and these are going to make beautiful fronts to bags, centres to quilts, however you want to use them. Cushions, yeah, absolutely stunning. We love these. We absolutely love these. So, like I say, I've only got 2 left. I'm not going to be getting any more, but if you would like these, for anybody that missed out, or maybe you've now got these went out at the end of last week. So if you have now got them and maybe you'd like another one, again, today is very much first come, first serve. So those of you that are getting the incredible long quarter deal today, again, first come, first serve. What we're going to do here now is stitch these down. We can do this, we can batch sew. So just folding over the binding. So what I like about these is that if you've got little bits of binding left over from a quilt, or if you're just new to making binding, you don't have to make acres and acres and acres of it. You can just do little 6-inch strips. Perfect. And I'm only popping the tape on one side. That just holds everything in place where I need it to be. And away we go. But these bundles, these long quarter bundles, like I say, when they're gone, they are gone. The zips we have, absolutely gorgeous, and we're good to go. So this is where working with it starts to be much easier, because you can actually start to see it. You go, oh yeah, those bits there. Okay. Now the other suggestion that I'm going to make with these as well is that these are my 2 outer pieces. Everything you'll give it a wipe down afterwards. Fold it in half. And just put a little nip in the centre, because you're going to centre everything up, okay, on this. So these are my main front and back panels, if you like. So just, luckily the plastic is shiny, so you can always, if you see me sort of wiggle it around in the light, it's just so the light catches it and I can make sure I've got everything lined up nicely. Okay. So I'm going to take my 2 pocket pieces that don't have the binding on the bottom, And again, find that centerpiece. Same here. Okay. And that will go in the center there. That's going to be my outer pocket. Now, you can put some tape up there. Just I do because it helps me, okay? But just be aware that this is the only bit of tape that you will be able to see. So if you only want to put tape on the bottom to hold it in place, then only put tape there. I don't mind seeing the tape. It's pretty translucent anyway, so it's not anything that worries me. So I'm going to find those little centre nicks, line that up along the bottom there. Has a pocket ever been so easy to install? I'm going to take my 2 meters of webbing that you need, and if you want to do a shorter handle, do a shorter handle. You don't have to use, this is just, again, serving suggestions. Cut it in half. Now I tend to pop another bit of tape on top of there, so you've only got tape that you can see in one place. So pop the tape directly on top of. I'm going to have to ask Jane in a minute for some more wash away tape. Okay. So everything is held beautifully in place. And I would centre my webbing strap over the top of there. And then we can sew that in place. Just make sure that's not twisted. Now, I tend to, you don't have to, I've tended to sew just until a little inch higher. You don't have to. I can't mark it, I'm not going to. Oh, thanks Jane. So I'm going to stitch down there, across and down, and that is as easy as the handles are. I mean, that will be the handle in. So just top stitching down. Now my thread now matches my binding, and I quite like that. That's going to give that highlight on those handles. Like that. You see that makes, this is where you can have a little bit of fun with it. But you can see this is why you get this sewable plastic, because it's not sticky. I don't have anything special on my machine. I don't have a Teflon foot on. I don't have anything other than what I would normally sew with. So that's my handle done, and my pocket. I mean, this is an easy make. I just know that some of you have never tried sewable plastic, and so it feels really unfamiliar, and that's okay. That is absolutely okay. We're good with that. But this is why we're going to give something new a go. It's like when I say with my kids and their food, it doesn't matter if you don't like it, but give it a go first. at least try it. So I haven't put a different needle on. I sew with cork, PU, everything. I sew with an 80 or a 90 with my needles that I have in packs of 100, so that I can just always make sure I've got a nice sharp new needle. And then you don't need to put different fancy schmancy needles in all the time. Just sew with a good one that has been replaced regularly. Some people say to me, I haven't changed my needle in 20 years. And I go, well, that's amazing that you are getting any performance. And they say it with such pride. And I'm like, no, 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 no. You are doing untold damage. Untold damage. And I didn't realise when I first started sewing how often to change a needle, because I only got those little packs of like 5. So I was really stingy. I didn't want to change my needle regularly at all. So just layering my tape one on top of the other so that you don't have lots of tape. Look, this is what you will see from the underside. That's not a problem for me. If it's a problem for you, then clip, 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 clip. So yeah, today is a bit of a use up what you have day. And if you don't want to spend out on lots of posh zips, then get one of our Lucky Dip zip bundles. Now normally they don't come with any zip pulls, but I have a few spare I will throw in. So they're advertised as not having, this is the very, very end of the roll, that's why it's a bit crookedy. They're normally advertised without having any zip pulls in there. Just the zip tape alone is more than enough value in there. However, today, because I've got a few spare, I will throw a zip pull or 2 in with those. Oh no, I didn't measure. Didn't measure. I didn't measure. I didn't measure. Where is my pencil? There, going to there. Can I see that? That was silly. Got carried away. Chatting. Never. Do you know what, actually? I was just going to say I was a chatterbox at school. I never really got done with chatting too much at school. My daughter, however... It's not my fault, Mummy. You know I'm a chatterbox. There we go. Know where I'm going with that one. It does help, doesn't it? So tape is your friend. And then you don't have to use pins, clips, anything else. Makes it really, really, really easy. People are going to be really surprised and look at this and go, well, how did you do that then? How did you sew with plastic? And you can look all smug and go, oh, just can. Just can. So we've got our side panels, front and back, whichever way round that looks for you. Now, I also have 2 strips here. Now this is for your zip. Okay, so they're, again, just for goodness sakes, hold these in place when you do this. Alright, bit of tape on your desk. And then you can use the edge of your grid on here to hold it in place. Okay, and we're going to just take off one corner there. Okay, just one. So just curving one, that's all we're going to do. Can do the other one the same. So then between the Creative Grid, which has that inbuilt non-slip grip, and your quilted washaway tape, that sewable plastic is not going anywhere. I hadn't even thought about this being perfect for events where actually, yeah, I guess when you go to concerts and stuff like that, they always want to have a look in your bag, don't they? Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Actually, I can leave that on a little bit. No, I'll take it off. So, I'm going to go really bright, really, really, really bright for this bag. And I'm going to go in with an orange zip. I could have gone in with a rainbow one, but I've got orange, so I'm going to go with orange. Because I love the clash of pink and orange. So you need about half a metre. And we're going to pull it apart. Now we're going to put tape around these corners. This is how it's going to sit in your bag. Okay? So it comes round and goes up under your binding there. Okay? So that's why it's only curved on one side. Ooh, it's the end of my tape. There. You can clip this if you want, but oh no, finding the end of the tape. Come on. There we go. So we're going to put tape around there, and again around this one. I would keep them facing each other, and then you know that you're doing it the same side. Just want it to go around that corner and then down. Whee! So your zip will sit on top. It can either go on top or underneath. It really doesn't matter. You know, you could do it like that if you want and have I'm going to have the plastic underneath. Now, you will have to sort of pleat this a little bit as it comes round this corner. It was either that or we do like quite a sharp corner. So I thought, no, we're going to be best just to ease that out. And just flip it over, check that you're happy that everything is lined up. And if you're not, just this is the beautiful thing about your tape, you can reposition. So as long as you're not getting in the way of where the zip teeth will, where the pull needs to go for your zip teeth, then that will go around like that. And we'll do the same on this one. So we're teeth up on here. And as we come round, just pleat it a couple of times. And yes, you do have more zip tape than you need. There we go. And then we're just going to top stitch that down and in place. Obviously I'm using pink. I love the clash of orange and pink. And that was something that came about with a pair of shoes. And I absolutely loved them. And then I had a top with orange and pink on it. And I just remember I was about to interview Keith. I was like, oh, do you think orange and pink go? And he went, Natasha, darling, orange is pink. I was like, oh, what? And that blew my mind. And so to this day, I will always put orange and pink together because I love it. And I love the clashiness of it. It works in nature. Sometimes have a look out in the garden and see what colours you've got going on in nature. Nature doesn't go, oh no, 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 oh no. Does it? It goes, hooray. Yes, everything can have orange in the middle. Tell those bees where to come. Hooray, crack on. Doesn't it? There we go. So that's our zip sewn down. This is how easy it is. Super, super, super easy. Now what we will just do, snip off that thread. Is find the middle. And again, just on that plastic side, give it a little snip. Just give it that little nick, just so that you can centre it. Okay, now, this will go on to, here are my bag handles here. We'll go on to these. So you need to have these at the same top end, if you will. We're going to bind around the top. So however these are going to go on, they need to go wrong sides together so that when they're bound, they're right sides. Okay. So I would just run a little bit of tape on the wrong side there. Again, you're going to match up those little nicks. There it is. And it was in there somewhere. No, where is it? And double check yourself when that is bound along there. Will my teeth be right side up? And yes, they will. Okay. So we're going to put our tape on the wrong side. Again, this is all in your instructions. I do not expect you to remember this at all. Again, photographing these instructions has been Ah, have I got enough reflection on there? Can it be seen? The quarters wash away tape works so well. That will hold that until we are ready for it. All I would say is that you might want to just clip that out of the way, just so it doesn't get caught up in any of the proceedings. Okay, now this is our gusset piece. Now, again, we're going to make those halfway marks either side. The beautiful thing, the very beautiful thing about this is that, of course, it doesn't really stretch. So when you come to doing the gusset, you know, sometimes when you sew a bag gusset in, oh no, is it pulled or stretched or whatever, and you end up with it being a bit longer here, a bit longer there. You're not going to have any of that with this, okay? So fear not, fear not. So what we will do, and again, bear in mind that we're going to be binding afterwards, we're just going to put a little run of tape on the inside here, again on the wrong side. You won't see any of this tape. The only tape that you see is on the underside of your zip and on the underside of your handles. And to be honest, once you've got stuff in your bag, no one's going to notice. So we're going to place, match middle to middle. And then your edges together there. Double check, yes. When you sew, that will be on the inside. Let me sew these in place very quickly. It feels like a longer make, I think, just because you based everything. It's going to be a really secure bag. Nothing's ever going to come out of this. But again, you can see how it sews. No bother. And that's why we stock this particular one. You don't want the ones that are sticky. That's just no fun. Because who even knows where their Teflon presser foot is? Or I've had some people say, oh, you know, when I sew with plastic or PU, you know, I put tissue paper down. What? You've got to pull that all out. No, just buy good stuff. And again, just going to sew that down in place there. And my tape is brilliantly showing me where I need to be. So now what we have is this. Okay. Now we're going to put our pockets in place here. We are not going to put the pockets right up on that corner. All right. We're going to give ourselves a little bit of ease. Little bit of ease. So let's line those up there. This all away. Clear the decks a little bit. Oh, that's where Emily's hair went this morning. Going to run a line of tape down both sides, obviously. on there so I can actually see what I'm doing. We're going to go 1/2 inch up, okay, because I just want it to have that ease to be able to flip and fold up. So, and again, use your mat for this. You've got these lined up here, and then you can use your mat to measure your 1/2 inch. And then you can put that down in place. And that's basted in place, that's your pocket basted in place. Tape is your friend. Cannot stress it enough. If you are doing this with cork, same applies. You don't have to bind it if you're doing it with cork. Of course you don't have to bind it. You can edge coat it. So once again, line up my edges along there. I'm going to put this in place 1/2 inch up from there. Now if it's taped, it's in place. You don't have to then worry about that at all. We are going to sew these sides, and you can, it is, if you want to, I know it feels like we're going a bit overkill with the tape, but if you want to put the tape on there, I really would, because then it's just held and there's none of that shimmying around, moving around business. So if you want to just, even if you just put it up at the top, just put a little bit just to secure it. I'm going to go all the way down, but you don't have to. You can just put it on the top, just, or a few little bits. Although that starts to get fiddly, you may as well put it all the way down. And you'll be amazed. We're then at construction phase, basically. We're starting to construct this bag. Just see that's overhanging a little bit there. Okay, so let's take the tape off one, and then we're going to marry up these top edges, and once you've got those in place, then the tape is just going to baste that down there in place, and your corner will just be an absolute breeze. You know, normally with fabric you'd be faffing about a bit. Not here. I'm just going to stitch straight down there. Same on the other side. Same on all the sides actually. So let's do that. If you're just joining us, good morning. We are making a see-through bag. You can put all your fabrics in it, store your fabrics, then you know where you've got them. Makes life easy. Because there's nothing worse, is there, than having to go through every single box to find your fabrics. Whereas this way, you know exactly where they are. Now, here we go. I was saying to the girls last week, I don't know what it is about me and funerals. I had to go to a funeral last week. Very, very, very sad. Very sudden death of my friend's fiance. And I don't know what it is about me and funerals, but I always spot something really inappropriate. I can't keep my mouth shut. So one that I have, I'll just share this with you because it just, sometimes you've just got to find a way to just giggle. And if, luckily, the chap whose funeral it was, he did have a good sense of humour, and his fiancée has a very good sense of humour. There was this moment walking up the stairs to the wake, and I kid you not, I don't know why someone hadn't taken it down. There was a life-size poster of a medium advertising a medium night as you're walking up to a wake. I was like, really? Like, of all, would no one have put that in a cupboard just for a couple of hours? Like, crikey, is he joining us as well? He just like, what is going on? It's like, and these things just keep happening to me. I just keep finding these ridiculous things, and it's like a little message to just have a little smile and remember the good stuff. My other particular favourite was the Undertaker's car at one that I had to go to a little while ago. And the number plate had a private number plate, and I kid you not, the number plate for the black Mini Undertaker's car, so the rest of the car all sombre, blah 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 blah, 1 2 3 off. I was just like, no. I guess you have to have quite a dark sense of humour to do that job. But so yeah, pop in the chat if you have had any ridiculously inappropriate moments, because I feel like they always happen to me. But I would really love to know that it's not just me. I'm just looking, going, no, that's not the number plate. Oh right, okay, here we go. Coming back to what we're actually talking about here. The reason that we did not put that pocket right at the bottom, so that you can see you've just got enough space to turn, and you're not battling then with that as well. Obviously I've used the very end of that roll of wadding, so it's a little bit crinkly. We're nearly there. We are nearly there. Okay, so all we've got to do now is add our binding. That's it. That is it. So again, you might be making your own binding. We've got lovely big pockets here, pockets here, pockets here. Our zip is already installed and in place. This is all looking good. So, I am going to pop a little bit of tape. You can just, if you're taped out at this point, like, oh for heaven's sakes, stop using so much tape, then you can just clip this. Life is too short, can't be bothered. I'm only putting tape on one side, okay? Just on one side, and it does make life a lot quicker, promise. But do pop and you will get through quite a lot of tape on this if you do decide to tape everything, so just pop that in your basket. Or you can take, we always have time pressures on these shows, so you can clip this, but I just know that then it's held. I don't have to worry about it. This is going to look so good. I love that we've just gone for really, really bright, crazy colours. So we're going to take off the tape. The thing is, nobody's going to know that you've used all this. But you see, I think this would look nice in each pocket having a different a different bit of binding. And that's why we've done long quarters. So again, going almost up to that fold line in your binding. Now I put the binding, whoops, on the outside and then fold it in. Okay, so then we'll just fold it over and we're going to sew that in place. And it's neat and it's done. And we're covering over the raw edges of that binding. Oh, this is great because you can see it. So I'm going to sew all the way down. And you'll get an idea that you're getting to the bottom because you'll get close to that zip. And then when the binding folds in, all you need to do is spin it around, reposition your foot, and away that you go. So you're on the inside. What you'll see when you get to the corners, I'm just checking because it's just sounding slightly different, like my bobbin is about to go. So covering over the raw edges of your handles, that's where we've got to there. So you're going to go, can you see here, my binding has gone, it's gone in that 45 degrees. So you will sew up to that line and then turn it, and you can. Do you know what, actually I'm going to get that as a photograph. I'm going to add that as a step in because that's so nice and clear to show. I'm not sure I got it quite so clear. There we go. All of these instructions, you know, we've made all of these items, so we know. So up to that line, and then move that out the way, readjust, and you are off again. And it really is that easy. But that's also why that pocket doesn't sit right at the bottom, because otherwise you'd have all of that to try and move out the way. It would be a bit of a faff. And what we absolutely pride ourselves in here is faff-free patterns. So look. That's it. That's one side fully done. Love that. So again, the tape is on the outside. Let's just take that off. Which means that you then have the ability to fold onto the inside. So again, taping just in front of that fold line. Not quite on the fold, just sort of up to, and then that gives it clearance to go round the top of the plastic. There we go. And around we go again. And then all we've got left to do is pop binding around the top, and that's the bag done. Pretty much. Got to do a little something with the zip. But really not very much at all. This is, if you are someone like me who is a little bit scared of binding, This is great practice. Absolutely brilliant practice. Because it's all straight edge binding. It's held in place with your quilter's wash away tape. Perfect. You can practice getting to that edge and getting a nice neat corner. So there we go, I get to that 45-degree line. Oh no, wrong bit of the foot. So move that bit out the way, and away you go again. So lift your foot up, move your bag around, and then again, you're good to go straight again. How super quick and easy is that? Okay. So what that's done now is given us real good structure and a lovely base to the bag, but we've still got to do just round the top. If I'd have had like a purple or something, I've had a purple binding, that would have looked great. So I'm going to run a little bit of tape, you guessed it, round that top. It's just going to hold everything in place then, isn't it? And that binding is going to hold the zip in place as well. Now, I used on mine, I mixed up my binding and I used the crochet edge binding, which I love, just to give, I'm going to pop that handle in the pocket out of the way. There's a good idea. Go on, in you go. Around the top there. And you can start your binding at any point really around the bag. So I'm going to start it midway on a corner. The flies in here, is anybody else struggling with flies? Oh my goodness. They are right pests. And then around the corner. Again, if you would rather, you can fold this over the top. You can clip all of this in place if you would rather. There is no right or wrong way. I don't like it when people try and say, you know, oh, that's wrong. You can't do it like that. I mean, you can. If you can do it like that, then it's not wrong, is it? So do whichever makes your life easy and makes you happy. Life is too short to be right or wrong. Coming around that top corner there, and I'm just going to overlap just by a little bit. Fold that under, just so that I cover the raw edge, and fold that over. And I'm going to start sewing from that point, so that that binding is then already secure. Okay. My foot has disappeared. Now you will need to fold the binding under, because obviously you've got a little bit further around, so just neaten that binding on that corner. But look, then it becomes a straight line. So over your zip, and as you get to each corner, just straighten everything out, fold that binding over. You might need to just pop a little tuck in it on this side, because it's got to go round that edge binding. But then sew straight again. And as you straighten this out, you'll see it just needs a little fold. But what we're doing is we're coming along here, as we are also sewing in that zip. And again, the zip hasn't gone all the way to the end, so you're not fighting that and the folded binding as well. And then we're back to where we started. How easy is that? So then you've got your binding that's around the top, but we do just have to sort out our zip. Okay, so we're going to add on our zip pull. Now if you want this shorter, you can have this shorter, but I've got this so that when that is on, you can get in everywhere. If you do it much shorter, like say if you'd stop it there, then you're kind of encroaching on how much you can get into the bag. Okay. Let me get my zip pull tool. Here we go. So that goes in zip side first. Spin this around. So that my teeth, everything is facing forwards. My teeth, my zipper, everything. And that does my bag up like this. Now we're left with an unsightly bit. You can either cover it over with a bit of binding if you want, or what I highly recommend are these. And these are zip ends, and it just gives a lovely professional finish. So fold it under, fold that zip tape under. If you need to trim anything off, then do. But fold everything under. And stuff it into your zip end. Okay? Just make sure all your raw edges are in there like that. And then it just has a little screw that sits in there. How smart is that? And suddenly you've got a really professional finish to that zip. And there you have it. This is your bag. You've got pockets here. You've got pockets here and here. You have got a very swanky zip. And away you go. You are good to go. With your see-through bag for your graduation in Cincinnati or wherever it is. Cincinnati. There you go. Easy, right? You're never going to lose your phone again or your keys because you can see them. You can see where they are. So that's today's show. You can use your own binding. You can use your long quarters. Long quarters are so easy for making binding. And the beauty about this is that that binding, of course, is all straight binding. If you wanted one of the Odile panels, please do grab those. I'm not getting any more of those. That is the last. But every time I buy them in, after I place the order, I always have a couple of people go, oh, I missed out. So I've got you covered. Got you covered. Jane is in tomorrow. Can we have a bit of love for the hair? I adore this. So you can have it as a wall hanging, you can have it as a cushion, but I adore this. We need to get a little bigger cushion pad. How totally beautiful is that? Beautiful, just beautiful. So that's what we've got coming up for you tomorrow. Don't miss that. Absolutely gorgeous. You can't see it now. There we go. And then I can block it instead. There we go. That's what we're making tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining me today. Sorry about the tech issues. Don't know what's happening there. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye.